were a little kid, you're watching a movie with your parents at the parents' house, and there was a scene when the movie got turned off, what scene was it? Sex scene, right? Every time, sex scene. No, well, who turned off for violence? Like what movie? First of all, that's because. And what happened? The first Jurassic Park? You turned it off for that? It's probably because it was Christian. They're like, dinosaurs aren't real. You know what I'm saying? It's fiction. It's fiction. My mom would turn that off. It was like 3 billion years ago. It was 3,000. Don't cheer for that.
Are you guys married here? Will be? Oh, all right. When you get married? April? Next April? Ooh. Save that date. Good day. I'll tell you right now, you need some accountability in your life, sir. Good luck. It lasts than a year. That's across the line. I'm sorry. Next April. Well, you gotta graduate or something like that? What's happening? I know, but I understand that. Why? Because she got a plan. Yeah, I like that. I respect. Where'd you guys meet? A campground? Hey, baby girl, you want me to help me light this fire? It's inappropriate, sir. Just unzipped her, saying, you need some kindling. Okay, sorry. Did you work there or you went there? You were both at camp? When was this? 6 years, okay, so maybe when you were kids. And you were like, hey, in 5 years, we're gonna get married in a year, okay? That's true romance right there. I make a lot of jokes about Hattiesburg, but I do love this place. I spent 4 months at Forest General at Pine Grove in 2019. And yeah, it's unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Last November the 6th, I just celebrated 5 years sober. So it's a miracle. A miracle. Yeah. A lot of good people over that hospital, and I remember I was so sad to be in rehab. I remember coming down here, and I was like, man, this is terrible. And then I got to the city of Hattiesburg and go, oh, it's even worse. And I'm just kidding. They said, it's a beautiful city, and I say a lot. There's so many people in the city that people that kind of knew me when I came down here, and the first week, everybody's like, what are you doing down here? I was like, I'm on a golf trip. And then I was like, you're here for 4 months, and you're in Hattiesburg. There's no way. I think everybody started to know why I was in Hattiesburg, and everybody in the city was so kind to me, and everybody there was people that were like coming up. I remember like pastors would come out to me, like slip me their number. They're like, if you need anything, let me know. Like we went to meals all over the city, and people took care of us. One time a girl was like, here's my number. I was like, well, that's why I'm here. So maybe don't do that, but you can look that up. Don't look it up, but anyway. But there's a lot. I would say this: that there's a lot of people I was in treatment with. I was probably in there with 50 or 60 guys, and there's probably 4 or 5 of them that have not made it. That they've passed. That they had a lot of addictions, and it gripped them too heavily. And I always I think I said this last time I was here. One of the guys, we are all in a group text. When we all left Hattiesburg, we're on a group that we're going to stay sober. We're going to stay strong. We're going to go to meetings. And one of these guys, after about a couple months, he dropped off of the group text. And then we knew if you're an addict or you know anyone with addiction, you know what that means, that they've gone back out, It just makes me sad to even say. And then there was another month went by, and this got way too serious. My bad. You're like, I thought this was a comedy show. People are crying now. My bad. Anyway, we're going to pass around the buckets. If you have a couple dollars, we do this. Forest General asked me to just pass the buckets. I'm just kidding. That was wild. That got too serious. No, all right, let me just finish. I get nervous when I tell a story and people aren't laughing because I can't see y'all. I don't know if you guys are like, what is happening? What's the score of the game? But we eventually got like an obituary that he had passed away, and I've never forgot that, because he relapsed or whatever, right? And he didn't want to come back. He didn't want to come back into the group text and say that he had relapsed or that he failed, and that it was that I always say addiction did not kill him. It is the shame that killed him. That over death, like either the enemy or the devil or whatever you want to call him. If you're not a Christian in here, that doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but well, it matters the most. But no, whatever was whispering to him, if you got back into that group text and all those other guys that are sober, if you told them you relapsed, that they would make fun of you, that they would be embarrassed of you, that you're a failure, and it was the devil that whispered to him so loudly that he couldn't overcome it, and the devil whispered to me, and many times, and I'm lucky to have made it on the other side. And if I ever came back to Hattiesburg, that I would tell y'all thank you. You might have saved my life. Really, that's it. That's it. We're on the team. Anyway, but listen, I don't want to say, I don't want to get into kind of like spiritual message or something, because I know there's one guy that's not a Christian in here, so I'll try to get him saved. But like I've been through a lot in the past 2 years of my life, and you can look it up. You can Google. Well, don't Google it, but maybe it's probably on page 2 by now. But who knows? That's stupid. But there's a lot of shame surrounding sex. That's why I make jokes about it, because it's a God given, and a lot of I've been through a lot of embarrassing things, and especially I wanted to commit suicide. I was in rehab for 4 months. It's a long story. Somebody goes like, "What's going on here?" Anyway, but there's a lot of I always talk about it, because there's a lot of people in here that struggle with a lot of shame, especially surrounding. I was in rehab for 4 months. I got out of rehab. I was on a Sunday, so I went to Five Guys. Chick-fil-A was closed. And I went in there, and I was very embarrassed. I didn't think I'd ever tell jokes again. I gave up on being a comedian and all that stuff. I was like, I just want to live by myself and not tell jokes anymore. But I never forget this. Oh, love you, girl. Okay, well, yeah. That's how I got in trouble last time. So don't. I don't know. That's stupid. There's a lot of shame surrounding sex, especially as a Christian. I never forget, because everything I went through was horrific and embarrassing and awful, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But the only thing worse is if that would have never happened to me, because I would have lived in just, okay, one guy's from church. We love you. But I've dated women that are in their 30s and that just carry around a lot of shame surrounding sex, and that just something that they did that you don't think you get. And I thought everybody, every time I had a sold out show or anything that I did on television, it would always come, as a Christian, it would come with a lot of shame, because I thought that if everybody knew the truth about me, that all these people would hate me. And that whole rehabilitation process is I found out that there's a God that loves you and he cares about you, and he's not mad at you. He's not mad at you. Now, and I don't listen. Let's pray. I'm just kidding. Sorry. I got too deep. I got into a hole. I didn't know how to get myself out of it. My bad. Anyway, if you'd like to, we're just going to pass around the buckets. If you have a couple dollars, slide them in. That would have been the perfect time for the buckets. Get them in with the emotions. Send the buckets, baby. Yeah. That's stupid. But there's a lot of people that what I was telling the story about when I went to Five Guys, and I was wearing a hood and sunglasses, and I didn't want to be recognized or nothing like that. And I never forget this family. They were like, "Hey, John," and I was like, they called me over to their table. I was like, they're gonna say I'm a bad Christian or I'm a bad influence on their kids or I'm an embarrassment or whatever. And they go, "We just want to let you know that we love you and we care about you and we've been thinking about you." And I was like, it was so confusing, because that was the first time in my life that people knew everything about me and they still chose to love me. And I just want to say that in a lot of ways, I've been through a lot of darkness, and the people that are out here that bought tickets to my show saved my life in a lot of ways. And I just want to say thank you. That's it. Thank you. I'm not trying to do a thing, but if you'd like to sponsor a child, would you slip your hand? You know that Bible verse, wherever 3 or more are gathered in my name. Compassion International is there, getting kids sponsored. That's across the line. I shouldn't say it. I'll tell you one story about rehab. It's just like, so I was in rehab for like 4 months, and it was horrible. I called my best friend and his wife, and I was on the speakerphone with them. Best friend and his wife, and I was like, dude, this place is terrible. You got to wake up at dawn. You got to go to breakfast. You got to go to meditation. You got to go to yoga. You got to go to Bible study. His wife, I was crying. His wife grabs the phone, and she goes, I don't mean to interrupt here, but we have 3 kids under 5. This place sounds incredible. I was like, what? She's like, oh, you gotta talk to I gotta talk to a therapist all day. She goes, you get to talk to an adult, huh? What's that like? I goes, you don't understand, there's drug tests. They watch you pee. She goes, oh, only one person watches you pee, huh? Did I hear you were going to breakfast? Is someone cooking you breakfast? That must be nice. I go, you don't understand, there's absolutely no sexual activity. She goes, this place sounds perfect. But take laughter with you. You guys, a lot of you guys are like, it's such a relief to laugh at jokes. Life is horrible, dude. Everything out there is horrible. Like, you gotta start laughing at some things. You know what I'm saying? Just take some photos of people, send it to the group text. It helps you. It helps you cope. You know what I'm saying? Laughter is a good medicine. That's Proverbs 26. It might be Proverbs 4:26. It's one of those. I'm anorexic. I get the number switched up, but. Take laughter with it. That's all I'm saying. You guys know who Mark Lowry is? You ever heard that name before? Mark Lowry is one of my buddies. He's a comedian, and he said the greatest laughter always comes from the greatest amount of pain. And we've done shows in prisons. We've done crisis pregnancy centers. We've done military tours in the Middle East. He's like, it must be tough to tell jokes there. No, it's easy, dude. People that have been to the darkness. I've seen the devil. I looked him in the eye. I don't have time for like flight attendant lady. Like, who cares?